ESPN's presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Chase. At Chase, the right relationship is everything. And by the Panasonic Camcorder Camcorder. Its tapes play in your VCR.
A sellout crowd on hand of 8,500 at the Convention Center in Tulsa. Welcome back once again. Joel Myers along with Clark Kellogg. Quarterfinals ready to go. The final of the four. Adrian Peterson, big-time freshman on the Big 8 all-newcomer team last year. Great inside-outside player at 6'4". Takes some pressure off Keontae Roberts. Shea Seals did a great job despite an off night from the field. Did the little things underneath. Potential All-American for Tulsa head coach Steve Robinson this year. And in the coaching matchup, the vet on the left, Eddie Sutton, 27 years. The kid on the right. I like it.
Yeah, he's very solid, and you look at a contrast there, but both of these guys have done an excellent job. Eddie Sutton at a number of schools as Division I head coach. Steve Robinson in his second year here at Tulsa.
So we will find out who is headed to New York tonight. The final of the four teams. 74% from the line, Tulsa, and that was a real key because UCLA, as they say, couldn't hit water. They fell out of a boat from the free throw line that night in that loss in overtime. 3-point field goal percentage, though. Oklahoma State did a good job, especially at the end.
Exactly. They shot the ball well. Actually, Eddie Sutton told us earlier today that they really played well at the start of that game, got away from what they had gotten them the lead early on, and then were really fortunate to be able to pull it out at the end.
Ballcaster, Ed Schumer, Gerald Siebert, the three officials, and they're from the Missouri Valley Conference. The Shea Seals, Keontae Roberts, the two keys for each team because they have been there. A couple of seniors, and Oklahoma State has the ball to start the contest. The young man with the ball, Keontae Roberts, he's played everything in his career from point to power forward.
Tremendous versatility.
Good look inside to Robinson. Lob from Weber, and the rebound coming off to Ruffin. He crashed the glass regularly at UCLA. Drop it low to Maldonado. Forces it, gets it over Weber and draws the foul. Not a bad beginning with your home crowd ready to go.
Excellent entry into the low post. And when you catch it down there, you should be thinking about scoring the ball. No hesitation on the part of Maldonado.
For 4 from the field in the first matchup against UCLA, their first game of the year with a 3-point play, 30 seconds in. That's one way to get your crowd involved very early. Man-to-man defense we'll see from both teams, Clark.
Both of these teams really want to get after you defensively, denying the passing lanes, pressure on the ball.
Weber early on the shot clock. Rod Thompson, smallest player on the floor with the rebound. They're banging early inside. Position against Weber. Penetration. Thompson. What a play to Maldonado. Pen it again. Exceptional penetration.
Wanted to draw defenders on the dribble penetration. Drive, draw, and drop a sweet dime. Good catch and finish by Maldonado.
First foul on Scare, second team foul. And Maldonado involved very early. He's got all 6 for the Golden Hurricane. A minute 3 in.
Well, Raphael told me to say hello to his family for him, but big fella, with your play so far, you said more than hello. You said, here I am, and I'm ready to get it on.
Message is loud and clear.
You got that.
Peterson. Weber. He's 0 for 2, but Robinson on the weak side. And the first point for the night for Oklahoma State. The former Florida State Seminole transferred a couple of years ago, Mo Robinson.
And he can do work inside, Joel. 6'7", about 260, and nothing extra, no fear.
Equalizes Ruffin. Basically the same size. A little wider, though, Robinson. And the reach in on Weber. His second foul already. Well, Weber gets the start, but as we found out from Eddie Sutton earlier today, once Brett Robish, who is eligible on December 16th, is available, he'll start for the most part. Robish transferring from Illinois, the son of Dave Robish. He's only a junior with eligibility after the 16th of December. Shea Seals sits down. And Eric Coley, one of the biggest surprises in the opener. 11 rebounds for number 11 in that win over UCLA, takes over.
In only 19 minutes, and here he is to the cup.
Maldonado fouled on his way up. It's Robinson. So the big guys involved very early, partner.
Well, one of the concerns for Eddie Sutton is his lack of depth up front. And here you see Coley on the penetration along the baseline. Good play by Roberts from behind. But Maldonado, right place, right time, able to draw the foul. So foul trouble to Weber could be a major difficulty for Oklahoma State, as they really don't have another big body to throw into the fray tonight.
Weber is on the bench. Joe Atkins takes over. Much smaller players, so they go to the small lineup. Maldonado misses the first of two. He's got 6, all 6 for Oklahoma State, make it 7.
You know, his career high is only 16. He's well on his way. I know it's early, but when you get 7 in the first 2 minutes, it might be a career night.
Scare available for 3. Good inside-outside play. Just off the mark there, though. And Jenner with that rebound for Thompson. Real quick lineup on the floor now for Tulsa. Ruffin's first try, and it's perfect. He kept alive that shot at the end of the first overtime. He was the key. After the miss, he kept it alive, and then they fouled the man in the middle, Bennett, who made the free throw. The foul on Thompson. Penetration move by Atkins, drew it.
Tulsa really out of the gate early. They've energized themselves and this crowd. The key for Oklahoma State, as you look at Shea Seals return to the floor, the key for Oklahoma State here is to make sure they execute and get high-quality shots. Early shooting percentage, you can't get much better than perfect.
Robinson had a little crease and lost the handle with a left-handed dribble. First turnover, looking for the lob and getting back. It was Keontae Roberts taking it away. They wanted Ruffin. Scare on the break. Count it. Jason Scare. Clark, when these two teams walked on the floor, the crowd got into it right away. You could tell it was going to be fun.
Almost conference intensity as you look at a picture-perfect fast break. Keontae Roberts with the steal and the nice handling of the ball in the middle on the break. Scare with the strong finish, the hoop and the harm, but well done by Keontae Roberts as the middleman on the break.
Very intelligent young man to the free throw line. Scare can't convert on the three-point play. The junior from Deer Park, Texas, thought about sitting out the season because he's a Rhodes Scholar candidate. Wanted to concentrate on his academics.
There's some other things, extracurricular things that come with being a Rhodes Scholar that he wanted to give attention to, but his skills had improved so much between last year and this year that Coach Eddie Sutton said, we need you, Jason.
Atkins blocked from behind by Maldonado. Coley coming over the back. It'll be foul on Eric Coley coming over the back of Keontae Roberts as the play got a little bit ragged on that release by Atkins after the miss by Seals.
Tremendous intensity, and this is almost like conference level intensity because of the interstate rivalry here. Tulsa has won 2 of the last 3 meetings before this team. There's a long history of battles between these 2 teams, and pretty much what we expected in terms of the energy level of the fans and the intensity of the players here in the early going.
Do you believe it? Second game of the season for us. Is this great?
As a player, this is the kind of action you love, though. You're tired of banging heads against your teammates. You want to get out here and do work against somebody in another color uniform.
What a rejection by Ruffin. Takes away that try by Peterson. 3 for Seals. Doesn't get the roll. Zach Bennett, and he's fouled. That'll be the second on Robinson. This is not a surprise to see guys like Bennett off the bench going after it because of the 33 rebounds for Steve Robinson's squad on Wednesday night for Tulsa. 16 of the 33 were from the guys off the bench.
Exactly. When you talk about having successful teams in this day and age, Joel, as you look at Seals go to work, what you really want to have as a coach is depth and versatility. And I think Steve Robinson is sensing that he's going to have those qualities, especially as these young guys grow up and mature as players.
Great backdoor cut. Peterson dragging along the baseline. Got it from Robinson with the assist. Peterson, the sophomore from Little Rock, getting his first points. Super soft. Also by 5 now. Seals. Adrian Crawford. Talked about him on Wednesday night. Assistant coach's son, he plays like a very headsy player. Lost the handle there, though. Turned the ball over. Ruffin cutting off Atkins. They want to double dribble. They won't get it. Peterson long on the 3.
He thought that was in the hole, too. You could tell by how he started to backpedal out of there.
Otherwise, he's got the rebound.
Yeah, you're right.
He follows. He's got it.
Hard to follow it when you think it's hitting nothing but bottom.
Wild start. Coley the ball away. High percentage shot, only 10 feet away. And a break to Ruffin. He didn't get the call he was looking for. The loose ball picked up by Scare. A lot of elbows flying early.
Boy, you better be ready with your luck spell tonight, Joe. That's the only place he could have shot that when he was blocked by the board. Had to go to the baby jump hook. Oh,
brought it up from the holster.
Sweetly done.
Coley had to take it away. Give that field a Scare, even though Atkins has the ball. Atkins leaving it off for Scare. Can he convert? Yes! He started the transition by poking the ball away. 9-2 run now for the Cowboys. And it's all even at 11.
Strap it in, partner. It's going to be like this all night long.
We'd pay to get in for this one.
Both teams very aggressive in their man-to-man D.
Seals short. Ruffin will give him another try at the offensive end. Seals loses it. Alert to Bennett. And now Coley available. Golden Hurricane take the lead once again by a couple. 13:40 left in the first half. You sure this isn't a championship game?
Boy, when you talk about rivalries, Joe, you've been around sports long enough to know what it means. Bragging rights on national TV, a trip to the Garden at State. I mean, they wouldn't even need all of that extra stuff. Just the fact that they're squaring off against one another is enough to create the type of atmosphere we're seeing.
Crawford came down with it. He'll be called for a walk. The second turnover when they come on to work. And we get a time out of the floor. 13-12 left in a very entertaining first half. 2-point lead for the Golden Hurricane.
We helped David Nolan with a pre-approved mortgage, which gave him the bargaining power to buy his family a bigger house with a lower bid. Chase Mortgage Pre-Approvals. They make every one of our 23 different mortgages even more valuable. Another way you're worth more at our bank. Chase, because the right relationship is everything.
The world is a magical place, and one camcorder captures it like no other. Only this Panasonic camcorder has a 16:1 optical zoom, a motion sensor for automatic recording, a full-size 4-head system for brilliant pictures, and tapes that play in your VCR. Only Panasonic gives you all these features. Now get a $25 rebate on select models for a limited time.
Would a man attack the peak of K2 if a remarkably soft pair of pants were placed there? Would a man tread the lip of a volcano for pants that were pure cotton yet wrinkle-free? Would a man brave the trackless Sahara for pants that were suitable for work and play? A man would, if he were a fool, because he could go to the store and say, yes, I'd like to try on the ultimate pant, new by Hager. Besides, your wife won't let you go to the Sahara anyway.
Mike Tirico in the studio. Kansas led by 4 at the break in San Jose, but they're pulling away. In transition, B.J. Williams, Brian Robertson, Jared Haas. Kansas leading comfortably over Santa Clara. Back to Joel and Clark.
All right, Mike, and welcome back to Tulsa. Golden Hurricane with a 2-point lead. Right now, though, Oklahoma State on a 9-4 run. Scare has come up with 5 of those 9. Started out very cold. Only 1 of 5, those Cowboys from the Big 12. But since 4 of 8, getting 50% of their tries after missing 4 of their first 5. Plenty of players on the floor early for both head coaches. Atkins, quick reversal to Roberts. Great look. Roberts got caught underneath the bucket though. And it's off the Cowboys and the young men who just checked in the game. Desmond Mason.
Yeah, Mason and Atkins 1-2 in the preseason voting for newcomer of the year in the Big 12. So it's not a bad way to start for Eddie Sutton to have a couple of backcourt swing type players that are that well respected or well thought of.
Gillen out of the timeout has taken over for Shea Seals. Gillen off the bench on Wednesday night hit 3 threes. Somebody was only in 7 games last year.
He had a difficult year last year. He lost his dad, was dealing with that, and playing time didn't come.
The scoop by Thompson.
Rod kind of warned me prior to the game at UCLA that he felt they had a chance to pull a shocker, and he was right on target. He's a real solid, steady floor general for Tulsa.
Atkins acrobatically in, looked for the foul, he didn't draw it. Don't see many threes from Maldonado.
Well, nice back screen by Gillen there. A lot of times the guy setting the screen inside is able to be the one that gets open.
What a dunk. Almost an incredible play by Desmond Mason. Love the effort of the freshman, though, from Waxahachie, Texas. Just had to get that name in. Dorsey checking in when we come back for Oklahoma State with 11:49 left in the first half of a Wild one.
Jimmy, light up the court. And hit the radio, man.
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, America's most trusted lives up to its name. Die Hard. Tried and true.
Taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Things a mess. Feeling stressed. Put it down and make it neat. Touch it. Touch heavy beat.
Touch electronic labeling system.
Coach Sutton does a tremendous job of getting his kids ready to play. They play hard, and you know, for my years at Kansas, playing against them, it was always a war. We played them last season. It was a dogfight to the end, and I expect the same thing.
The two schools are 60 minutes away. We didn't know how much of a war it was going to be this early, though.
We got a sampling, though, talking to both coaches and a couple of players earlier. That word war came up about 2 or 3 times.
Johnny Gendron almost lost the handle. Thompson with the shot clock down. And Weber's back in with a couple of fouls. Shea Seals has touched it 9 times tonight. He is 1 for 3 from the floor, 0 for 2 in three-point land as Roberts gets away from Bennett. That was a senior move against the redshirt freshman.
He's probably their best inside guy, knows how to hold off defenders. Tulsa wants to overplay a lot, Joe. So if you're patient and strong with the ball, use some pump fakes. You can get guys over pursuing the ball and get some stuff inside if you're Oklahoma State.
Bennett gives him another try at the offensive end. He had it, but it was poked away. It still belongs to the Golden Hurricane. They are getting second and third tries regularly, more so right now than Oklahoma State. Over the first few minutes of the game, they out-rebounded Oklahoma State by 10, 13-3, Clark.
And it's amazing that Oklahoma State, with that type of discrepancy on the glass, is hanging around. They're very active with their hands. I can see why Eddie Sutton loves his backcourt guys. I mean, these guys can cover an awful lot of ground with their quickness and range.
Maldonado with the offensive foul, trying to set a pick and moving around.
You look at Shea Seals on the 0 of 3 with 6 of 19 on the night against UCLA, and probably a little heavier than he'd like to be ideally. Because he was on the World Select team playing against the Dream Team during the summer, he didn't get to his weightlifting program until later, so he accelerated everything over the last few weeks and bulked up maybe a little more than he wanted to. It'll be another couple of weeks before he's idled down and at the ideal playing weight for himself.
Weber picking up the offensive foul. That is his third, so Mo Robinson with 2 fouls comes right back in the game now for Weber. That is the 16th foul, so very close to putting Tulsa in the bonus. Just took a 10-40 left in the first 20 minutes of play. Back to what you were just talking about with Shea Seals, though. Tightly wound. Too tightly wound this close to the year.
I think so. And again, because he was with the under-22 team, the select team, he wasn't able to spread his weightlifting out like he normally would during the summer.
Ball almost taken away on the pass by Cunningham.
And, you know, he admitted as such, as he and I talked a little bit about that. Part of his strength as a player is his physical strength, but you have to be careful as to how happy you get in there throwing that weight around when you're a basketball player. I think he'll be fine in a couple of weeks.
Stay out of the way.
Not necessarily. Yeah. He's got to get in there and throw that steel around.
2-point lead for Tulsa with the ball. Seals wants it. Working up against Mason.
Boy, excellent drop down inside.
Ball was blocked. Ruffin blocked that try by Peterson. The opposite way at Seals. And the blocking foul down low.
Dorsey, I think.
Dorsey did get it. That's his first. And the rest of the half now, they are shooting free throws.
Yeah, you always want to keep an eye on that. I highlight a couple of games within the game whenever I do a game. One is the rebounding story. The other one is the turnover story. And then obviously the other one is the free throw game. Those are the games within the game that more times than not, if you dominate or win in all 3 of those categories, or at least 2 of them, 75% of the time you're going to come out on top on the scoreboard as well.
Right now, they're on top in rebounding. Let's see if they capitalize on their free throws, because they're going to get plenty now, you would think, as physical as the play has been over the first 10 minutes. They sure earned a few trips to the stripe in the second 10 minutes. And Seals takes advantage of the least of those 2. So he's 1 of 4 from the floor, but a perfect 2 of 2 at the line now. The deflection by Ruffin. Seals on the break. Interesting. And Thompson almost makes it pay off. He's 5 feet away from the basket. Puts it back out for a 3. The takeaway. Coley doing it off the bench again tonight.
Boy, both energy and intensity at both ends. Give both of these teams an awful lot of credit here in the first 11 minutes.
Seals for 3. Still having his problems from the outside.
Eddie Sutton wants a 20.
And Deontay Roberts. And his partner in the backcourt, Marlon Dorsey, recognized their coach's request. So a 20 taken the first of the game. 3 each game. Carry over 2 to the second half. You have to use them up, of course. And a 4-point lead right now for Tulsa with 9:09 left in the first 20 minutes of play.
Boy, he still loves coaching and teaching, doesn't he?
Tonight's matchup between Oklahoma State and Tulsa will determine the final of the foursomes to get into the semis in New York. What a matchup. Evansville, the Aces against the Hoosiers. Will that ever be great? That's on Wednesday night on ESPN. It'll all start at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Dick Vitale and I will be there at the Garden. And Duke against the winner of our game tonight. Watching Eddie Sutton, though, it was fun talking to him for a good hour and a half, 2 hours this afternoon, because he is not lost. He talked about how much he loves teaching, as much in practice as in the game. He's not lost, but 1 year in his 26 previous seasons in coaching.
Boy, great job by Roberts to keep it alive.
Atkins can't get it to go. The save. Almost a double play there for Scare. And the man that was going the other way, Mason in the corner. But it is going to be out of bounds, belonging to Tulsa. 4-point lead. Golden Hurricane get it back with 8:46 left in the first half. So we update you on other scores.
Duke very impressive in both of their wins so far. Excellent defensively, getting good shooting from Trajan Langdon.
Weave out top. Good look inside, and Coleman get the assist.
Boy, he's an impressive looking freshman. Read an article where he was quoted as saying he wanted to come somewhere where he could contribute but not be dependent upon. And he's found the perfect home because all he has to do is blend in and fit in.
There's Coley again, partner. Watch out and go. Gotta like that break.
Excellent spacing. Anytime you're 2-on-1, make that defender make a choice.
8-point lead, biggest of the night for Tulsa. Scared. Not close. And Roberts collects the loose shot. That was a break. Huge break for Oklahoma State.
And a much-needed hoop for the Cowboys. They want to maintain contact now. They don't want this crowd to get so into the game in Tulsa to run off a 4 or 5 point spurt to get this thing to double digits.
Just isn't working for Seals as Coley saves up the baseline for a fresh 35.
He's backing out of the shot just a touch, Joel, just enough to keep it from getting up and over the rim. He's been short on just about every shot.
Coley again off the bench doing the job. First team All-Stater here in the state of Oklahoma last year. 6'5", 205 freshman. Mason left alone. Can't make it happen though. Make it 11. Seals now 0 for the night from 3-point land. That's 0 for 6 on trays for Shea Seals. Gotta start thinking about that penetration work. The takeaway. Mason tried the wraparound pass. Ruffin on the break. Look out! And the foul on Scare. An intentional they're calling.
Here you take a look at it. Good pressure by Coley, and then just a weak pass by Mason. And here's the play. Ruffin, Scare. Let's take a look at it again. Ruffin with a nice strong move. That's a good hard foul, but if the official feels as though the contact has been excessive, it doesn't have to be a matter of intent. If it's deemed to be excessive contact, then the flagrant foul can be whistled. A lot of people are confused, feeling as though if you go for the ball and it's a hard foul, there shouldn't be a flagrant. But if the official thinks that it's excessive contact, then you get the foul shots plus the ball.
One more for Ruffin. He collects the second. And when we come back, Tulsa will have the ball. We get 10 on the floor. Everything working right now for the Golden Hurricane. They're on top by 9.
Hi, I'm Andy Mill. Competing in the Olympics is one of the great moments of my life. While I'm no longer racing, I still love to ski and hike and cycle and basically getting out and staying active. It's how I live. My family and my work are really important, but so is adventure, fitness, sports, and diet. And combined, that's the fountain of youth. Now there's a magazine called Men's Journal that shares my approach to life. Men's Journal captures everything I'm into, like sports, weekend trips, great health and fitness tips, and exercise programs. Men's Journal covers skiing in the Rockies, diving in the Caribbean, hiking in Alaska, plus important information to help improve your health and your love life. Subscribe now to Men's Journal for only $11.97 and get this 200-page equipment guide absolutely free.
Call 1-800-613-1717. That's 1-800-613-1717.
Men's Journal is not just another magazine. It's a way of life.
You know, be a really good anchor would be that MacGyver guy, you know. He'd be a good anchor. That guy that was on TJ Hooker, was Dance Fever guy. He was pretty good.
The champion Cats, the #1 contender, and everybody's All-American, look to make an early season statement in Chicago. The DirecTV Grade 8 coverage begins Tuesday, December 3rd, only on ESPN.
An aggressive, emotional beginning for the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa on their home floor. They lead it by 9 with 6:24 left in the first half. And don't forget, you can see over 450 college basketball games that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see in your area for only $69 for the entire season. Call your cable operator or DirecTV. I like it. ESPN's Full Court Press. Ruffin on that strong drive to the hole, creating the opportunity, hitting 1 of 2 free throws. Talk about crashing the glass, though. Tulsa 18-6.
Big time advantage there. Ruffin already with 5.
Ball will be thrown out of bounds. Good pressure on the littlest guy on the floor, Thompson, trying to bring it into the baseline. Interesting.
Good pressure. You can see with this Oklahoma State unit, they've got tremendous quickness in that backcourt, Joe. I mean, you look at Dorsey, you look at Peterson, Mason, and not only are those guys quick, they're pretty long as well. Even though they're not that tall, they're long.
Very small lineup now because they also bring on Chad Alexander, the junior from McPherson, Kansas. They're basically the best pure three-point shooter.
If they can space the floor and spot him up, he's almost automatic.
Peterson lost the handle. Good pressure that time from Tulsa. Small quick lineup for Tulsa as well, with Gendron on the floor.
Eddie wanted a 20, but I think he's got it. Yeah, he wants to get something straight with his players. Here he is teaching now, trying to iron out what went wrong on that particular half-court possession.
Now 27 years at this level.
Right.
7 in high school, 3 at junior college. He is a great teacher.
And he hasn't lost any fire, has he?
Well, when we walked away from him, I said, I like the smile in his eyes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see it. You can clearly see it.
He's very deep in the backcourt this year. He's not real strong right now on the baseline. Brett Robish is really going to help out. And then Scott Robish, Brett's younger brother, is only a freshman, will bulk up. He's right now, talking about a drink of water, 6'10", 200 pounds.
Yeah. Here you see what Eddie Sutton has done at Division I level. Only coach to lead 4 different schools to the NCAA tournament. 72% winning percentage.
In 8 minutes, Eric Coley, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. Hasn't had an impact on the game at all.
Just a small one. You know what this guy does as a hobby? He breaks horses. He's big into breaking horses. He said he's going home tomorrow is their off day, and he's going to head home, which is about 2 hours from here, and jump on the back of a horse. I don't know how that translates in the hoop, but to each his own, I guess.
A tough cowboy. The kick out to Gillen. He did it against the Bruins. He's doing it again tonight off the bench. Gillen with his first 3. He's a junior from L.A. Dominguez High School in Compton. So Tulsa gets their first 3. They're now 1 of 9 in 3-point territory. And they're up by a dozen. The takeaway. Ruffin, take it home.
Ruffin picked up a technical because he unnecessarily hung on the rim. So you're allowed to hang if you're in danger of being hurt. Good overplay here by Michael Ruffin. And then he goes in for the uncontested dunk. See, there's really nobody around him. And while the fans don't like it, it's the proper call by the official here. Again, the good overplay leads to the steal, which leads to the flush. But see, watch this. See, he grabs on that rim. That's a good call. That's extra, and that's unnecessary.
Without a doubt. Alexander, about as flat as you can be on a free throw. He misses it. They'll get one more. That almost wedged between the window and the rim. We're just talking about a 3-point threat. That's why they brought him in the game. He hits the second. So now they are only 1 of 3 from the strike. They got those 2 free throws on the technical. Until that point, though, Clark, 9 free throw attempts already for Tulsa compared to only 1 before those 2 for Oklahoma State. They're not creating the opportunities to get the strike.
Exactly. They've got to break down this pressure with dribble or pass penetration. And when you don't have a really strong low post game, it makes it more difficult.
Offensive foul, Keontae Roberts with the stiff arm.
That's a point of emphasis this year. And if you're using your arms, and Steve Robinson talked about this with his team in the shoot-around today, he said Keontae likes to use the arms in the low post. Hold your position, and they should call the foul. And that time, he was exactly right. You've got to get open down low with your lower body. Your arms you just use as a target hand.
Now can Ruffin and Tulsa capitalize with the strike. Steve Robinson told me earlier that I heard from Roy after the win over UCLA. And Ruffin does get the role. Heard from head coach Roy Williams, who's met him after 7 seasons in Kansas with Roy. Funny how things work. Roy grew up under Dean Smith at North Carolina and uses basically the Carolina. Now it's Kansas. Oregon uses it as well. That system, unselfish play, a lot of rubs, a lot of movement. And we see already from Steve Robinson in the 2nd season, he's got a lot of players going in now. Almost looks like Carolina, the rotation.
Well, if it's not broke, no need to try to fix it. Just modify it to your particular personnel and your own style as a coach.
Ruffin gets 1 and 2. The lead is up to 14 again. The pressure, great deep by Crawford on the sideline.
They do an excellent job of pressuring that basketball.
Scare posting up over Dillon. They finally got a high percentage look at the basket, about 10 feet away.
It's been a while. If you're Oklahoma State, you'd like to get this thing south of double digits and then go in and regroup and be ready. So you've got 4.5 minutes to try to keep this thing from blowing up any more than it already has.
Speaking of Carolina, 3 come on the court at once. Seals, Thompson, as well as Coley. The bench has done a great job again for Steve Robinson.
There you see the bench again. We talked about it at the top. How they contributed mightily in the win against UCLA. Doing a great job here tonight in the first half.
Coley's got 8 of the 11 for the bench group tonight.
Boy, look at Keontae and Michael Ruffin inside.
Weber's back on the floor with 3 fouls. He can't afford to get too aggressive with that defensive end. Thompson for 3. Hello. The lead is up to 15. Their largest of the night. On to the 2nd 3. Can you imagine if they would have hit their 3s early from Seals? Roberts around Ruffin. He's got a hold before the shot. So many wasted trips tonight for Oklahoma State where they didn't even get a shot.
Right. Empty possessions will hurt you, especially when the other team is clicking offensively.
That timeout on us. 15-point lead, biggest of the night for Tulsa with 3:57 left in the half.
Announcing the Adventure Discovered Sweepstakes.
I've been shopping, big time. It's all right here on my Discover Card statement.
Use your Discover Card, and you could win everything on Boyd Matson's statement.
Patagonia. It's me. 2 tickets on American. My new Jeep.
Plus, you'll join him on
a National Geographic filming expedition.
It's the grand prize in the Adventure Discovered Sweepstakes.
Well, I've done my shopping. Have you?
It pays to discover. Watch National Geographic Explorer on TBS.
Dear Dave, after session last week, we had your smoky bacon cheeseburgers. One bite, and we said, man, whoever made this has paid his dues. 3 strips of hickory smoked bacon, smoked cheddar with that sauce, all on a 1/4 pound of fresh beef with sauteed onions. Dave, it was so delicious, Lucille and I played a whole set of Lowdown Blues. Your pal, B.B. King.
Dear B.B., keep smiling. You'll beat those blues yet.
Try Wendy's Smoky Bacon Cheeseburger Combo.
Don't Don't forget to join us on the Deuce on Sunday night, 6:30 Eastern Time. It's the Grey Cup. Toronto looking for their first championship since '91. Edmonton on a roll. Join us. 96 Canadian Football League Grey Cup. Sunday night. A little bumping and thumping, partner?
Yes, sir. Thumping and bumping between Roberts and Ruffin. How do you like that little limerick? Good job here by Keontae Roberts to keep active with his feet and with his body, and then keep it away from Ruffin. But Tulsa has had it pretty much their way because of excellent defensive pressure, which Oklahoma State has yet to really respond to.
6 points, 5 rebounds already for Ruffin. Roberts with a knifing move.
Bring it! Bring it, young fella! Little ISO, they cleared him out. Bounce, spin move, feel that body. Spin on him. Hoop and harm. That's balling at its best, Joel.
I like the way he snaps the twine.
Very nicely done, Keontae.
Little fingertip roll at the end. Did he convert?
No, he's only a 52 or 3% free throw shooter for his career.
It's going to kill him down the stretch in many games. They continue to do what they did last year. The group was 57% collectively, second worst in school history. Seals after it. Bennett's got it. Another try of the offensive end. Seals penetrating. Other side. Cornwell almost got it to go. Along with Bennett on that side, the weak side glass. They're short of man. Doesn't make any difference. And the three-point of the first points of the night from Marlon Dorsey. That's 5 straight. And all of a sudden the lead trip down to 10.
So a nice job by Dorsey fronting Seals. Seals inside.
Seals once again, though, not much of a factor offensively. Shot clock's down to 7. Thompson. Have a good look at the basket. Good crossover move. And now active for Oklahoma State. Foul away from the ball. Bennett holding on to Keontae Roberts. They're in the bonus. He'll go back to the free throw line. In fact, Eddie Sutton was talking to us today because you know how bad it was for us last year shooting free throws. We were about to beat Missouri at home. Close game. Go to the line in the last few seconds with a couple of free throw opportunities. Can't hit those. Missed 22 of 34 attempts at home, losing a tight one to Mizzou.
Yeah, free throw shooting like that will break you down every time. And this guy is really struggling with his offensive package. You'd love to see him get his free throw percentage shooting up to around 70 because you know he's going to get to the line. He's a clever and shifty ball handler, strong enough when he gets in traffic with bigger guys to finish plays. And you have a tremendous weapon in him if he could just elevate that free throw shooting percentage because he can make plays.
They get both. And now it's a 7-0 spurt for Oklahoma State. They were down by 15, trim it down to 8. The back door, Maldonado can't finish. Right back to Seals for 3. That's capitalizing on an opportunity.
And that's got to feel like a load off of his shoulders. It's been a while since he's found the bottom.
First 3 is now 1 of 7. 3-point land. Scare holding up Johnny Gendron, the smaller guy. Good matchup to exploit that inside.
Exactly. And Keontae showing you his playmaking ability. He can do it with himself or he can find teammates.
That's 9 now for Scare. Keontae's got 10 to top Oklahoma State so far. Got his man up in the air. Maldonado way out. Not exactly his shot. Seals for 3. Back to back. Almost.
A little quick. Steve Robinson, I'm watching him as he's right next to our position. And he's telling his team to move. They've gotten a little stagnant offensively the last couple of possessions.
Roberts fouled by Cornwell. Great recognition. The spacing was there. The lane was his.
Good call, Joe.
Don't forget to join us with Mike Tirico. Delta Faucet halftime report coming up. Highlights, Kansas getting started tonight. Arizona, Carolina. What a game for Arizona. And Duke rolls right to the Garden of New York.
Boy, Arizona, very impressive. Mike, I know you're listening, buddy. They're hooping here in Tulsa. They're getting after it, Doc.
Deontay just did a couple. The bonus situation. 19 fouls on the Golden Hurricane. Ball wasn't there. Ruffin had it, lost it, and they're going to say it was last touch. That's a break by Marlon Dorsey.
Oh, that was close. I thought Ruffin was the last one to get a hand on it.
He was definitely going after it at the baseline. So the lead right now at 9 at 36-27. Backdoor lob, Seals, soft touch. Was on his way down when he received it. What an athlete.
Took advantage of the overplay by Oklahoma State that time, and there wasn't enough pressure on the passer.
Atkins with the left hand. Robert Strong. And last touch by Gendron. I like the better penetration, though, from Oklahoma State. Much better looks at the basket.
But when a team's going to overplay you, you've got to break it down either with the dribble or the pass. In the last few series, they've broken it down with the dribble.
Inside of the final minute here in the third down in Tulsa. Roberts posting up Maldonado. And a walk. Picked it up early.
I think he has more chance of being successful going to the middle as opposed to limiting himself on the baseline, because he gets hemmed in. Tulsa is going to overshift and put another man there. If he comes to the middle, if they bring another guy, now he's got a chance maybe to find an open teammate.
10 turnovers per minute. Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Now, Tulsa expand upon the 11-point lead. Seals not timid about going up with a three-pointer. Instead, Crawford. Ruffin. They can play for the final shot now. They want to. Ruffin is blocked. And now it's Oklahoma State.
They should play for the last one. Oh, no, he's pulling up. Not a good decision there.
Atkins not close.
That's you for you.
Steve Robinson wants it 20. Stops it with 6 seconds left in the half.
That's the lack of recognition by a young fella, because there were only 18 seconds left when Oklahoma State got that possession. So at worst, if they take the last shot, they go in down 11 and feeling okay about themselves. Now it could be 13 or maybe 14 if Tulsa is able to get a shot off and down.
Everybody's got to get on the defensive boards. You talk about a heads-up play, though, by a second-year coach. Steve Robinson, he can't take 3 20s with him to the second half. He can take 2, though. Right. And he had all 3 left.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to use it. Get a chance to set your play up. Smart move. Sudden imploring this team to get on the glass. They've been drummed on the glass this first half.
Crawford, baseline. And what a block by Atkins, who took the ill-advised shot earlier. Helps his teammates out at the defensive end of the floor. But what a start for Tulsa, the Golden Hurricane, on their home floor. They lead at the break, 38-27. Let's head back to the studio now and rejoin Mike Tirico. Mike?
Joel, Clark, thanks. They are hooping, and it's keeping us awake. It's good hoops here late on a Friday night. A good rivalry on what is rivalry weekend in college sports. Coming up, Kansas, Arizona, North Carolina, Indiana, all in action. We've got highlights coming up for you on the Delta Faucet.
I think a Walmart MasterCard sounds fantastic.
Walmart has a credit card? Absolutely. We've done the Walmart card the Walmart way.
It's just a credit card with low interest. It's simple. A fixed low interest rate is perfect.
And with the holidays coming, I could really use this card. It's a Walmart card, but you can use it wherever they take MasterCard.
You can't always pay it off at the end of the month, so of course, low interest rate helps enormously.
We've always tried to save people money, and this is just one more way to do it.
Call now for your no annual fee Walmart MasterCard from Chase.
I'm so surprised that we didn't offer this card years ago. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Freshness Hotline, what's the problem?
Man, my party is lame. I think I got some skunky beer.
Sir, relax. When was your beer born?
Born? What are you talking about?
It doesn't have a born-on date?
A what?
Do you have any Budweiser?
No, man, you gotta help me.
Okay, remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Go! Sir, put down the skunky beer and slowly back away.
Jimmy, light up the court. and hit the radio, man.
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, one battery lives up to its name. Diehard, tried and true.
It's back, the Goodyear Buy 3, Get 1 free sale. Right now, buy 3 selected Goodyear tires at regular price. And the 4th tire is free. So call 1-800-GOODYEAR today and get on the line with your local retailer.
Are we falling behind, he asks me. He plays golf with his buddies, and all they talk about is the internet, the intranet, electronic commerce. He says we need this stuff. Are we falling behind, he asks. No, we are ahead. We are way ahead.
Where is enterprise computing headed? Look to where the leaders of the PC revolution are taking it.
Michael Ruffin had a great freshman year last year and closed it out in grand style. The loss to Louisville, he had a great game in the NCAAs. He's picked up where he left off last year, up in Tulsa to an 11-point lead over Oklahoma State. Welcome to the Delta Faucet Halftime Report. First big night of the college hoop season. Let's get you to some of the scores and highlights, starting with Kansas. Of course, last year, Santa Clara opened UCLA's season and handed them a loss. Kansas heading out to Hawaii on the way, stopped the play. Santa Clara, Jacques Vaughn, you see a lot of shots like this. Great tie on Jacques. Without him, good passing. Scott Pollard gets it underneath, the easy dunk. More first half action. Move the ball around. Paul Pierce, the open jumper. Santa Clara hangs close. No more Steve Nash, of course. Marlon Garrett helping pick up the slack outside the arc. Santa Clara within 4 at the break. But the second half, KU pulls away. On the fast break, Ryan Robertson. Jared Haas, a bang in a bucket in Kansas. Rolls on and heads out to Hawaii with a victory. By 12 tonight in San Jose over Santa Clara. Earlier tonight on ESPN, Arizona, North Carolina. The tip-off classic, Miles Simon out for academic reasons. Ademola Okulaja puts up the 3, takes a hop off the top of the backboard and goes in. Bounce is going Dino's way, 29 all at the break, but Arizona, Michael Dickerson had a huge second half for the Cats, and Mike Bibby, the freshman, dynamite, outside, and watch him on the defense, the son of the now Southern California head coach Henry Bibby. The steal takes it all the way in, and Arizona beats Carolina, which had a great string of season openers going. 17-5 run in the second half, the difference. Right before SportsCenter, you saw Duke in the NIT. Coach K looking to make it to the semifinals for the 3rd straight time in the NIT. Very early going, Steve Wojciechowski. No foul. Incidental contact. Wojo takes it in. That's one of many steals on the night for Wojo. Another example of the quick hands of number 12. He takes it all the way in. He had 7 steals in the first half alone, and Duke blew it wide open in the second half. A 22-1 run in one stretch where Sean McLeod up and under, score it with 1. And the Dukies going to New York to the NIT semifinal, 86-57 win. They'll play the winner of this Tulsa-Oklahoma State game. As for the other half of the bracket, Indiana-St. Louis, seen earlier on the deuce. Neil Reed helps break the press. Andre Patterson, strong to the goal. Hoosiers up 1. Still first half, it's all even at 21. A.J. Guyton had a good night for Indiana. Indiana now has multiple ways to score, and that's a difference, something this team didn't have a couple of years ago. Second half, here's Guyton to Michael Lewis. Watch Steve Barentine. Sekou, I should say. Knocking out our cameraman who hung in there for the rest of the game was okay. Indiana won 70-54. They'll move on to New York, where they will face Evansville. Evansville beat Iona in a low-scoring game tonight in Evansville. So Evansville and Indiana, 6 o'clock on ESPN on Wednesday night. Duke against the winner of this game will follow that. Arkansas opening up its season, 16th ranked team in the country at home at the Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville, taking on Jackson State. Kareem Reed the steal. Dropping one off, dropping a dime, as Clark would say, to Derek Hood. Big, early, just dominant for Arkansas. Pat Bradley from outside the arc. The sophomore knocks down the 3. Young team, played a lot of freshmen last year. Nolan Richardson gets their experience, and they're off to a good start. An easy 53-point opening night win. Iowa going to Moline, taking on Western Illinois. Guy Rucker. He blocks it, starts the break, just settles. Andre Woolrich to add 24. Matthias Kutzer-Schroeder. And the Leathernecks close here tonight. Knocks down the three, just a 3-point deficit at the break, but Iowa starts pulling away, just settled. The steal and the jam, and a lot of Iowa fans who live in the Quad Cities area see the Hawkeyes win by 15, 81-66. Mark Buckingham at 17 in the losing effort for the Leathernecks. Much more of the Delta Faucet halftime report, including Syracuse, New Mexico, Florida, some other scores when we come back.
This halftime report is presented by Delta Faucet and your dependable Delta Plumbing Professional. Together, they're the way water is brought to life.
Ready? Get it.
Isn't it just like Delta
Let's make it really cool.
to design a faucet that's at both the height of style
Wow. Awesome.
and practicality? Delta, the way water is brought to life.
Introducing the Taste-Tations, the first hard candy from Hershey.
We're the Taste-Tations. We last so long and taste so sweet. We're so delicious and sweet. The R&B, we're oh so creamy, oh so smooth. We're the first hard candy from Hershey to you.
Yummy butterscotch, peppermint,
Caramel, and chocolate.
yum dandy hard candy.
We're the Taste-Tations.
New Taste-Tations, the first hard candy from Hershey.
Let's go, guys. I need a play down here.
Hang on, Mike. We're working on something up here.
Try 3 wide rocket.
If they blitz, it won't work.
What about a quick slam?
Okay, Mike, we're almost there.
Come on, come on, come on.
Look at pro split Z out.
What's taking so long up there?
Okay, Mike, here we go. 3 wide, 78, Z out, Y cross.
All right, all set? Let's go. Let's go. Great call, guys. Good job.
Would a man attack the peak of K2 if a remarkably soft pair of pants were placed there? Would a man tread the lip of a volcano for pants that were pure cotton yet wrinkle-free? Would a man brave the trackless Sahara for pants that were suitable for work and play? A man would, if he were a fool, because he could go to the store and say, yes, I'd like to try on the ultimate pant, new by Hager. Besides, your wife won't let you go to the Sahara anyway.
Tulsa leads as we welcome you back to the Delta Faucet halftime report. On Thanksgiving night, it's basketball on ESPN, Syracuse and Kentucky. Syracuse opening its season before heading to the Great Alaska Shootout, taking on Winthrop tonight in the Dome. That's the freshman guard, Jason Hart. You'll hear a lot about him finding Otis Hill for the short jumper inside. Some of the veterans back include Jason Sapola. He's got the rebound. Otis Hill, many points from the paint on the night. Here's Hart, good point guard. Gonna set up Hill after the penetration, the dish for the dunk. Syracuse rolls 106-51, second biggest margin of victory in the Boeheim era. Again, Kentucky, Thanksgiving night on ESPN. Fresno State, Tark's team pushed by Pacific but winning by 4. Highlights in Albuquerque of New Mexico taking on Columbia. Henny Thomas, just 2 field goals all night. That one was nice. Then Thomas, Charles Smith. You saw both field goals. Now Thomas and Charles Smith, a little give and go, and Smith on the business end. Thomas had 14 points, including 12 free throws. New Mexico rolls on in their Lobo Classic. Boston College opened its season with a 13-0 run. They beat Brown by 17. Mike Jarvis's GW team wins the first game of the Red Auerbach Colonial Classic by 30. Down at Reynolds Coliseum tonight, Herb Sendek wins his debut replacing Les Robinson. Florida State gets the win in an important year for Pat Kennedy. LSU, the debut of Lester Earl, the most hyped LSU recruit since Shaq, 25 points, 7 rebounds. And Auburn loses in Birmingham. Will it happen in football tomorrow on ESPN? Georgia the victory. Alabama beats NC Wilmington in the Top of the World Classic in Alaska. Billy Donovan, he's the new coach at Florida, a disciple of Rick Pitino. His debut in Gainesville taking on Central Florida. Kenyon Weeks had a huge game, 18 in the first half. Second half, watch Greg Williams. The steal, you're going to see pressure, you're going to see steal, you're going to see a lot of easy layups from Billy Donovan's Florida team. They beat Central Florida tonight by 17, and looky here, BYU in the Marriott Center loses to Fullerton on opening night by 8. More scores as we go to break, including Providence winning up in Alaska. And through this score roll, you will see Illinois-Chicago, Jimmy Collins, the former assistant coach at Illinois, losing to Lon Kruger in his Illini debut.
The NBA is at your fingertips at NBA.com. You have the computer, you've accessed the internet, now log on to NBA.com for all you want to know about the NBA. 24 hours a day, you can check out game schedules, plus player stats and stories from around the league. That's any team, anytime. And NBA on the Air tells you where to tune in for all the action. NBA.com. Log on and get connected to the NBA.
The results are in.
At least we'll be the loudest team out here.
College basketball's favorite wacky announcer scores on home video.
That's awesome, baby, with a capital S.
Dick Vitale's Dreamtime Baby takes you center court where the blood pressure rises.
He's jamming and he's slamming.
And where college basketball history is made.
Jubilation City.
If you love basketball as much as Dick Vitale,
It doesn't get better than this, baby.
this video's for you.
Showtime! Hello!
Dick Vitale's Dreamtime Baby, now available on home video.
Things a mess. Feeling stressed.
Pete, touch it.
Pete, touch it. Put it down and make it neat.
Pete, touch it.
Pete, touch. Heavy beat.
Pete, touch it.
P-Touch electronic labeling system.
Pete, touch it.
Here's the deal in the NBA tonight. Game just over. Lakers and Spurs. No Admiral. Nobody to stop the Shaq in the paint with authority. Eddie Jones teeing up Shaq to the rack. Oh, got it blocked. Got it back. Put it down. Shaq at 29. Over 20 boards as well as the Lakers win. They are in overtime in Sacramento. Full highlights and the NBA day, including the Notre Dame coaching story as well. Larry Beal, Stu Scott's coming up on SportsCenter. Speaking of Notre Dame, football on the network, starting with College Game Day in about 10.5 hours. BYU, Utah in primetime, Auburn, Alabama. About 3.5 hours worth of scoreboard shows. A great day tomorrow. The second half from Tulsa after this.
But first, are you experienced? Or have you ever been experienced?
Announcing the Adventure Discovered Sweepstakes.
I've been shopping, big time. It's all right here on my Discover Card statement.
Use your Discover Card, and you could win everything on Boyd Matson's statement.
Patagonia. It's me. 2 tickets on American. My new Jeep.
Plus, you'll join him on
a National Geographic filming expedition.
It's the grand prize in the Adventure Discovered Sweepstakes.
Well, I've done my shopping. Have you?
It pays to discover. Watch National Geographic Explorer on TBS.
You can't have pool parties when I'm on the road. This is what happens. You know what I'm saying?
We love that basketball. I'm shooting basketball. Oh, that baby. I'm shooting basketball. Hey, Tyra, you left your toothbrush at my house.
That's you, LP. That's you.
I know my spot, fool. You can't guard me. The Secret Service couldn't guard me.
I mean, you can have a regular party, but you can't have any more pool parties. Look at this. The filters, man.
Space Jam is here, and the rush for Space Jam Plush is on at McDonald's. Get Bugs, Taz, and all the others before they're gone. Just $2.99 each when you buy any McDonald's Deluxe or Large Sandwich. Only one place has Space Jam deals this plush.
McDonald's, Doc.
Tender grilled chicken, fresh lettuce and tomato, a bakery soft roll. McDonald's new grilled chicken deluxe is loaded with the stuff grown-ups love, inspiring a truly adult emotion, lust.
Oh, baby.
It's McDonald's with a grown-up taste.
Back at the Convention Center in Tulsa, the Golden Hurricane with an 11-point lead over the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. Joel Myers, along with Clark Kellogg, talked about it at the top of the telecast. The bench was the difference for the Golden Hurricane on Wednesday night. The win over UCLA once against Steve Robinson, using 11 players in the first half. What a half for Coley in particular.
His main man off the bench, Eric Coley, there you see him in transition for 2 of the 8 he got in his 10 minutes of playing time. Here's another 2. Hard 2 dribble moves, stop on the dime, straight up, straight down. He also had 4 boards. There you see his numbers. That's packing a lot of production into limited playing time, and that's why he's an ideal guy to come off your bench, because he can do a lot for you in a little bit of time. A quick look at stats. Even in terms of shooting percentage, Tulsa able to get 6 more shots because of their advantage on the boards. Front court points. This was a concern of Eddie Sutton's coming in. He's minus 19 in that category. Bench points plus 11 for Tulsa. Free throws, again, Tulsa winning that game. So they're winning the scoreboard game in part because they're winning the free throw game, the rebounding game, and the turnover game.
11 offensive rebounds for Tulsa in the first 20. Got to take care of it at home. Johnson for 3. What a beginning to the second half. Started the second half just the way they started the first half. And the lead back to 14, the biggest of the first 20, was at 15 points. 7 straight, trimmed it down to 18. Nice run by Atkins. Can't finish it, though. And what a lob pass. The long one from Keontae Roberts out high.
Again, that can happen when the other team is overplaying as much as Tulsa will, as Rod Thompson a little bit out of control there. Uncharacteristic for him.
He's got a sheepish grin on his face. Marlon Dorsey comes back in very early in the second half for Atkins. Second foul on Thompson. A little sheepish grin, though, on Thompson's face when we look back over at his head coach, Steve Robinson, like, I know.
Oh, he plays with a smile, does Rod Thompson. He's out there having a party. Look at Oklahoma State. They're trying to really spread the floor so they can better take advantage of the overplay.
Robinson around Maldonado. Nice kiss off the glass.
Squeezed along that baseline and then jumped his body back into the defender. Nice play by Robinson.
Tough first half offensively for Shea Seals. He led the Golden Hurricane with 9, but not very effective from outside. Turnaround for Ruffin. He's bailed out almost. Yes, he is. Maldonado, third attempt. We just talked about it. 11 offensive rebounds in the first half. Can't give him more than 1 in the defensive end.
It's been buffet style all night long for Tulsa on the glass. I mean, seconds and thirds, everything they want.
They've got to get Peterson involved in the second half as well. He was only 1 of 5 in the first 20 minutes. 90 seconds in the second half, still a 14-point lead for Tulsa. They beat Oklahoma State at home last year by 3, 57-54. Roberts spinning away, and they'll call a walk. Another turnover, the 11th committed by Oklahoma State.
You see Eddie Sutton smiled. That was a bad call. Looked like a pretty strong move, although traveling, in addition to post play, are points of emphasis this year with the officials.
Only 7 turnovers committed by Oklahoma State in their opener against St. Mary's. That was point of emphasis in our conversation with Eddie Sutton earlier today. He was really pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah, he said he'd take a bunch of games with only 7 turnovers. On top of that, they had 9 steals and 16 assists. So, excellent floor game Wednesday night.
Tulsa trying to take the biggest lead of the night. Shot clock down to 3. And Shea Seals does exactly that. He's looking better when he gets inside, 10, 12 feet away. As opposed to being stationary. It looks like when he's bringing it up off the dribble, he's much more comfortable.
You're right. He's really worked on that during the summer, trying to shoot it better off the bounce.
The lead, the biggest so far, as Roberts got away from Ruffin.
See, that's what they're doing. They're opening the floor up, Joe. That's what they like to do, and if they're strong with the ball and patient and crisp with their cut, they can get some good stuff in the paint. That's the one way they can counteract the fact that they really don't have a post player, other than really Keontae Roberts and then Maurice Robinson on occasion.
Gentry charging, accepting that one. It was Marlon Dorsey, a senior from Shelby, Mississippi. So a little bit too deep on that penetration. We've seen it twice now. Gentry as well as Thompson. First foul on Gentry.
Take a look at this, folks. Look at the way the floor is spread. Like a little diamond there. They've got Keontae in the middle, and the spreading and the spacing is really critical here. Tulsa has decided to go to a zone to try to keep themselves from being exposed on the backside.
Peterson real flat on that shot straight away. He's now 1 of 6 from the field.
Good switch to the zone that time by Tulsa.
Movement without the ball by the Golden Hurricane after Jenrich had picked up that dribble.
Trying to free Denver with the double screen.
Ruffin available. Scare with the rebound. Ruffin almost posted away. Can Peterson get it going? Still, it's not there.
Good shot, though. Good ball reversal, good shot. You got to take them when they're there.
10th rebound of the night for Michael Ruffin.
Boy, Maurice Robinson and Rafael Maldonado going at each other a little bit.
Scare and Ruffin getting into it. Low percentage pass, really frustrating Steve Robinson in front of us. Still a 14-point lead for Tulsa. Gone back to man-to-man. And Scare can't capitalize, but puts it back. His own miss.
Well, I think this is a heck of an adjustment by head seven to spread this thing out. Try to beat the overplaying pressure of Tulsa by trying to open up that floor for back cuts.
So 11 points now for Jason Scare. Second 20-second timeout used tonight by Steve Robinson. So the adjustments from the old pro, you talked about it. Let's listen in. As soon as they went back to man-to-man, Clark, from zone, he spread the floor.
Keontae Roberts making another good play. Good catch by Scare here. First one doesn't go, but persistence pays. Stay with it and something good happens. Well, I really like this young man's game. They say he's really matured between last year and this year, but he's got a full package. He might not quite be premium cable, but he's beyond standard cable. He's got some extra channel options there.
It's early in the season, though. You can upgrade that status soon.
No question about it.
Seals for three. When he's stationary, it doesn't look that comfortable. What a whip inside to Ruffin. He'll go to the line to shoot two. And Keontae Roberts avoiding the automatic. Sending him to the line to make him earn it there. For Roberts, that is his second foul. What a look by Seals, though, after his own miss.
Chases down his own miss. And then a good feed inside, good foul there by Keontae Roberts to make Ruffin earn it. But if you're Oklahoma State, if you want freshly squeezed orange juice, Joe, you've got to squeeze the orange on the defensive board. You've got to do a better job rebounding the basketball.
Ruffin gets the roll. Sophomore from Inglewood, Colorado. Doesn't play like a sophomore, does he? Always stays around the rim.
He's cut up and twisted pretty good. Said he dropped his body fat from about 10% last year to a very lean 5% this year.
So he does capitalize. After he was fouled by Roberts, gets two more. The lead at 14 for Tulsa.
At 2 a.m. Sunday, a Chase service representative was available to help Dr. Troy Hamlin transfer the money to cover his student loan payment. 24-hour phone banking, one of 7 ways to connect with us. And another way, you're worth more at our bank. Chase, because the right relationship is everything.
Let's go, guys. I need a play down here.
Hang on, Mike. We're working on something up here.
Try 3 wide rocket.
If they blitz, it won't work.
What about a quick slam?
Okay, Mike, we're almost there.
Come on, come on, come on.
Look at pro split Z out.
What's taking so long up there?
Okay, Mike, here we go. 3 wide, 78, Z out, Y cross.
All right, all set? Let's go, let's go. Great call, guys. Good job.
Freshness hotline, what's the problem?
Man, my party is lame. I think I got some skunky beer.
Sir, relax. When was your beer born?
Born? What are you talking about?
It doesn't have a born-on date?
A what?
Do you have any Budweiser?
No, man, you gotta help me.
Okay, remain calm, sir. We're on our way.
New Born on Dating from Budweiser, because fresh beer tastes better.
Go! Sir, put down the skunky beer and slowly back away.
Tulsa Tulsa still leads it by 14, trying to get to New York as the final of the 4 for the semifinals on ESPN on Wednesday night. Some great traditional battles tomorrow in college football, and join us. First one, BYU, Utah. Cougars, well, they are trying to wrap up the WAC Mountain Division title and go to the WAC championship game. The winner of that will be there in that WAC championship game, either BYU or Utah. You don't have to have anything on the line when Auburn and Alabama get together. That's always a phenomenal matchup this year in Birmingham. So Coley, who is such an impact player in the first half, finished with 8 off the bench, is back in now for the first time in the second half.
Here you see offensive rebounds. That's why Tulsa's been able to get a few more shots than Oklahoma State.
Overall, they've out-rebounded them 32-20. Atkins out of the timeout. Off the mark on the 3. Or make it Alexander, rather. Another try. Not close. And Marlon Dorsey again, for the second consecutive time, chases it down. On the walk, they won't get it. The cut by Roberts. Good look inside. Can't finish. Bennett tips it. And Roberts touched it last. Taking the high percentage play, but couldn't capitalize.
Sure did. He's just a little short on the shot, but good move, good work by the Cowboys that time. They actually got 3 looks at it on that possession. At some point, though, they've got to break into this double-digit lead, Joe. See, it just starts to weigh on you like wet clothes if you don't make some headway into it.
Serious burden.
Yeah,
holding on to Bennett. That's the 3rd foul on Keontae Roberts. Not what you want to do against a guy who's not a threat from the outside anyway, and Zach Bennett.
Turning back and the Golden Hurricane, number 50.
So Bennett checks out. Crawford comes in, utilizing the bench once again. It'll be Thompson taking over for Crawford. Coley working on the backboard now with Rod Thompson. Gillen on the wing as well. Atkins, Weber checking back in. Eddie Sutton and Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State went to their bench regularly as well. They used 10 their first game to win over St. Mary's.
Well, their versatility and depth is in their backcourt. Tulsa's is everywhere.
Thompson. Fingertip scoop. Tough shot. Quick first step on Atkins to beat him to the baseline. 10 now. Rod Thompson. The poke away by Ruffin creates the steal to Thompson. Nice bounce entry. Last touch by Dorsey. It'll still belong to Tulsa.
This is one of the toughest shots in basketball. This little 4-footer off the dribble, getting it up just right. Well done by Rod Thompson.
Game could easily get away from Oklahoma State now, as you talked about, denting that double-digit lead, because now they can go past the 20 mark if they're not careful. It's at 16. But 13-12 left in the contest.
That's one of these. This is one of those critical junctures in a game. Typically a few of them. Certainly a major one for Oklahoma State.
Coley to fall away. Oh, what a great looking player. 15-foot fall away.
Young fella, don't hurt him like that.
He wants his name in the first 5, not the second 5 in the lineup. He was a great shooter in high school. It's 63% of his career attempts. True freshman.
Boy, jumped in and then back to create the space on a dime. And a sweet stroke.
Be ready. Be ready, Zach.
So the lead, the biggest it's been tonight at 18. Ball was on Maldonado. Peterson's got to start to fill it up. That's almost an air ball. Been that kind of night for Peterson. Will they push it past 20 to 21 possibly? Seals to make it 20. It'll stay at an 18-point bulge. Dorsey with that rebound. Foley and Thompson converging. They'll call the foul on Thompson. So for the 4th team foul on Tulsa. Atkins just trying to penetrate.
Trying to make something happen. Actually was bailed out on the foul because he really didn't have anywhere to go.
Be ready, White! Be ready, White!
The pick frees up Peterson. He's now 1 for 10 from the outside.
Yeah, they just can't get anything to go from the outside, and they're unable to get inside.
And overall, they're 2 of 13 with that last miss in the 3-point territory. Alden out of great position against the freshman, and the putback. Coley again on the weak side glass. A dozen for the freshman. And it is up to 20 for Tulsa as they begin to celebrate. The ball out of the reach of Peterson, another turnover. Coley is the story. The true freshman from right here in Oklahoma, 6'5", 200-pounder, playing tonight like a senior.
What happens when you don't just make something? You invent something.
The Chrysler Cirrus, Concorde, and LHS. Cab forward design. Speed-sensitive steering. Driver adaptive transmission. 4-wheel independent suspension. The Chrysler Cirrus, Concorde, and LHS. The difference between just making something and inventing something.
It'll be time to ho-ho-ho it before you know it. So Sears has the entire store on sale. Shop Sears this Saturday and take an extra 10% off all sale prices and 10% off all regular prices. This Saturday only.
You okay?
I'm fine. Where are you?
I'm in New York.
Who am I?
Hey, Coach.
And who are you?
I'm Batman.
Sit down.
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers.
To the Batcave.
When plumbers hit the road, they carry more than a truckload of faucets and pipes. They carry knowledge about products, like why the finishes and solid brass construction of Delta faucets are right for you. They carry knowledge about styles and knowledge about procedures and codes that tell you they're as committed to perfection as we at Delta are. In fact, there's only one thing as dependable as Delta faucets, and that's the plumber who installs them. Delta, the way water is brought to life.
I think my strength is being a leader and showing it by example, because I come in every day, I try to work hard just to, try to make a rub off on the younger guys. I mean, I know we have a young team, but if they see somebody working hard, then maybe it'd be kind of contagious and rub off on them, make them work hard also.
I don't think there's any doubt that leadership by example from Shea Seals has helped the bench come through with 15, and Coley has most of those 15. Coley's got a dozen tonight.
Well, I mentioned in the first half that Coley breaks horses in his spare time. He likes to ride horses, and I can see the correlation between that and basketball. It's about hard work, and this young fella has shown that he's willing to work hard.
Atkins poking it away from Thompson. Still plenty of time. 17 left in the shot clock for Tulsa at the offensive end. Golden Hurricane by 20, 53-33. They led it by 11 at the break.
Well, they've dominated this one on the glass especially. And even though Oklahoma State was still in it at the half, they've just stepped it up. They've been very productive at the offensive end, and they've kept Oklahoma State on the perimeter for their offense.
Thompson a little short. Had the right idea because Seals had his man beaten on the baseline. Couldn't get it there, though. Steve Robinson does like the initiative, though. You can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Turnover committed by the Golden Hurricanes. Mason at the timeout. In for the first time in the second half for Eddie Sutton, just trying to mix things up.
Oklahoma State just on the perimeter.
Mason for three. Line drives it long. And another rebound, making it even 10 now, officially for Ruffin. Ruffin's the trailer. He walked with it. Not that many free throws from either side in the second half. Not the fouls that we saw for the first 10 minutes of the first half, but both were Generously putting the other at the stripe.
Steve Robinson plus 20, but wanting Michael Ruffin to let the game come to him. He was in a hurry to try to make his move that possession.
Atkins can't buy a three. That's been the story all night long for them on three-point attempts. 11 rebounds for Ruffin. Inside of 10 minutes left in the game. Tulsa can hold on for a third consecutive win. As Bennett is fouled to the reach, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. Tulsa looking for the third consecutive win over their old rival. This is the 103rd meeting between the two schools. Eddie Sutton now. Tulsa's done a good job at the stripe tonight. It's been a different story for Eddie Sutton at Oklahoma State. In fact, he relayed a message from Tom Penders earlier today to us. Penders had somebody who couldn't hit free throws at all. In fact, he had a player who went for 50%, sent him to a hypnotist after hitting 50% of his free throws, and the player then all of a sudden hit 75 to 80% later that year. And as he told Eddie Sutton the story, he said, but remember now, the guy really improved, but you've got to make sure you never snap your fingers around him. The ball still belonging to Tulsa after the miss with 9:47 left.
Eddie Sutton also on record as saying that he felt Tulsa's team was a little further along than his club at this point in the season. He feels like he's going to have an excellent basketball team come January. They've still got some wrinkles to get worked out. And one of the wrinkles is a little better shooting, but you're going to have tough nights shooting the ball on occasion. But when you don't have somebody you can post up inside to try to get you some easy shots, it just really magnifies your perimeter shooting woes on those nights when you struggle.
Leaves it for Coley. One miss, two misses. Ruffin hammered. And that'll be an intentional one. Couple of free throws and the ball out of bounds. Scare with the foul.
Intentional foul. Jason Scare.
Let's take a look. Penetration, dish, shot, rebound, Ruffin, Scare, hammered, and then he pulls him. He got a hold of his shoulder blade and pulls him down. That's an obvious intentional foul call. You can't do that. And I know there was no intention there, but when a guy is exposed in the air, if you're going to make the hard foul, make it and then try to get away. But he yanked his shoulder blade.
Shoots two. This is a real shot. We felt coming over. We spent so much time this afternoon with both teams and coaches that if either side got a 6 to 8 point lead, that was going to be big. We felt they were really evenly matched.
Yeah, they were, but the difference is domination on the glass and then a little more execution offensively. And then you factor in the poor shooting by Oklahoma State, which you'd have to attribute some of that to the defense of Tulsa now. I mean, it's not just all bad shooting, but it's a combination of good defense and some missed shots by Oklahoma State.
Great shot by Coley. Inherited bounce play. Tapped it over to Bennett. He couldn't get to it. Doesn't play like a true freshman, does it?
No.
Shea Seals leaving it off. Bennett for three. And that goes. Checking on the seismologist. Marlon Dorsey couldn't get it to go. Finally. First points for Desmond Mason.
First points for Oklahoma State in a while.
Long prize spell, partner. Chandler ready to come back in for Tulsa. Three-point attempt. Tough break that time for Shea Seals. And the foul underneath on Bennett. Make it Coley. Now they will give it original to Bennett. Stay with Bennett. Coley put his arm up. 11 players have already been used in the game by Steve Robinson. Trying to lock up that final spot in New York. A match with Duke. And Duke has looked so strong for the first two at home at Cameron. Pounding Mandy earlier tonight on ESPN. Took care of St. Joe's a couple of nights ago. So the winner of this one going up against Duke in the semis. All begin at 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN on Wednesday night. Nice drop by Mason. Roberts is blocked by Ruffin. despite the large lead, still working at the defensive end of the floor. Maldonado. Beautiful play.
Yeah, you can't quite teach that.
Did it on his own. A couple of trailers were there. Didn't want to take a chance dropping it off. Ruffin did a good job not picking up the foul.
He's actually played with 3 for a little while now.
Seals. It'll be a charge on Shea Seals. Well, Shea only had 6 of 19 against UCLA. Tonight, only 4 of 16. Tough night from the field, but his side easily on top by 19.
When I started losing my hair, it bothered me, and I finally got to the point where I just didn't want to think about it anymore. But I didn't want to do anything until I knew I could get the look that I wanted. The most important thing to me was the hairline. It had to look natural.
Hair Club for Men is proud to announce a technological breakthrough. Call our toll-free number now to receive your free copy of Hair Club's exciting new technology brochure.
I just love the idea that I can get out of the shower, towel dry my hair, blow dry it, and I'm gone.
So call now and get Hair Club's new technology brochure. You'll see before and after photos of men like yourself who have already experienced the benefits of this innovative technology.
I'd seen too many people that had tried surgery or products that promised to grow their hair back again. I wanted something that was simple, non-surgical, that would give me the results that I was really after.
Call our toll-free number for your free brochure, because Hair Club for Men really can make a difference.
Tomorrow on ESPN2, it's triple-header action. First, defensive powers clash as West Virginia visits Virginia Tech. Then, South Carolina grapples with a Clemson squad that's on a roll. Finally, Minnesota hopes to dash Iowa's bid for a bowl. West Virginia, Virginia Tech at noon. South Carolina, Clemson at 5:30. Iowa, Minnesota at 8:30. Tomorrow, only on ESPN2.
The lead was as large as 23 for Tulsa at 19 now with 7.5 minutes to play. And don't forget to join us. This matchup, ESPN Sunday Night Football. It'll be at the Transworld Dome in St. Louis. Isaac Cruz and the Rams ready to take on Brett Favre of the Packers. Will the Magic return to the Packers now with 2 straight losses to Kansas City and Dallas coming in? They are a mortal 8-11, or 8-3 rather, after being 8-1. 8-11, a new schedule. Shooting so far in the second half.
Well, neither team really lighting it up, but when you started the half with a 9-point lead and you're shooting 10 percentage points better than the opposition, that can make a big difference. And that's been a difference here. Oklahoma State was in it. A spurt by Tulsa to start the half has made it pretty much an uphill, well, major uphill battle from here.
Gendron has Dorsey dribbling off his foot. Good pressure on top on the lead guard.
That's what Tulsa does. They defend you extremely well. And right now, Oklahoma State just not ready to handle that pressure. Come later in the season, they'll be a much better team at handling defensive pressure like they're seeing from Tulsa tonight.
14 turnover committed by Oklahoma State. Clark, it's going to be interesting down the road to see how these two teams, though, handle teams with true post players because they're not huge at the center position. Shot clock inside of 10. Ruffin trying to keep it alive, but they'll call a walk on him. Seals with a low entry pass. The new whack.
Do you see the new members?
The Mountain Division.
Well, they actually play quadrants, and two quadrants make up a division, and they'll rotate.
The foul of the 3. Finally getting a 3-pointer from the young man we were talking about, Chad Alexander. Now going to make it a 4-point play, cut the deficit down to 15. You saw the quadrants that they use in football, the 8-man or 8-team division they use here in basketball. And also remember that New Mexico and Utah, two of the real powerhouses in the WAC in recent years, are in the same division as Tulsa. Tulsa, though, to the credit of Steve Robinson's program, they were picked 3rd in the preseason poll in their division.
Well, they're going to be a solid team. I think they're going to be a strong consideration for top 25 all year.
Thrown away. Roberts has it. Lazy inbounds pass to Maldonado.
Just careless.
Turn here in the momentum. It's at 15 after the 4-point play by Alexander.
Yeah, Maldonado went brain neutral on us there. Just threw it to the wrong guys.
A nice penetration move, but they're going to call the walk. Don Mason. Desmond Mason. True freshman. That hurts.
Yeah, you needed a hoop there. You really needed a shot. At least.
Pressure down from Oklahoma State. 6:15 left.
Well, remember now, with 2 minutes to go against UCLA, up by 8, Tulsa struggled a little bit as they tried to start milking the clock some.
Dorsey just a little bit late picking up that foul, his second. 15 foul. So on the common foul, not yet in the bonus situation. Fresh 35 with the shot clock. Remember Tulsa in that UCLA game you were just talking about. They would score in the last 2.5 minutes. They lost a 70-62 lead. Did not respond all that well to the pressure.
They got a little more margin for error here. Plus 15. There's an awful lot more time on the clock as well.
15-point lead for Tulsa. Up as high as 23. Thompson taking the pick. Foley's been their man. And it continues.
Boy, he just gets such great elevation, and he's under such control when he gets into that shot. Great rhythm.
Safe to say it's his career high. 14, only his second career game.
I think we're going to be changing that quite a bit while he's here.
He's 7 of 10 from the field. Line drive and a break from Mason. He'll take it. We'll make the highlight film. Back to a 15-point deficit. What a reversal. Seals available. Great look by Thompson. Big assist by Rod Thompson.
And see, that's how you have to play, Joe. I think you can't afford to start getting into your prevent offense. Continue to push the ball, continue to make basketball plays, and if they're there, take shots.
I think Desmond Mason lost the handle, and he thought somebody grabbed the handle.
Well, that's a case in point of where a guy can't palm the basketball, Joe. He tried to cup it. Now, he was up high enough. But a lot of times when you're sweating and you're trying to cup that thing, you don't get the control you need.
Seals just hit the three. Does he get a deuce? Yes! Not bad on the dribble penetration.
Excellent move. And this is an excellent way to stifle any kind of momentum Oklahoma State was thinking about getting.
Come right back at him. Alexander for a three. It's long. And out of bounds. Marlon Dorsey got a piece of it, but they say it was last touched by Tulsa.
Well, I really like what Tulsa has done. You see Steve Robinson, his staff, everybody up imploring this team to stay aggressive at both ends. And that's exactly the philosophy you need to employ.
You don't think that group behind Robinson wants to go to play at Madison Square Garden, do you? Not much. These young men were so anxious from both teams.
I'll tell you what, it'll be a good matchup too, Joel. Them and Duke. Both of these teams can get after you defensively.
The pick is set. Now can they convert on the three? No. Again, a nice big set to free up Adrian Peterson. Real long night for Peterson, though. As Bennett creates the break to Thompson. Seals will finish it off. It is back to 22 and counting, the lead for Tulsa. Scare, long on his three try. Gets it back. And he'll go to the line to shoot two.
Here's the end of a wild possession. Seals able to finish it off nicely. That's the way to get your shooting percentage up. Get a few of those in the course of a ball game.
Looked over to his teammates on the bench. Tomahawk you all the way to New York.
What a nice young man. I had a chance to visit with him again today, and he's a classy guy.
That foul on Bennett That's his third.
50% shooting in the second half. A couple of them in the paint, though. He got that dunk. He had a driving layup. Got some more high percentage looks.
21-point lead for Tulsa on their home floor at the convention center as we return.
Jimmy, light up the court and hit the radio, man.
Every day, car batteries are put to the test. And every day, one battery lives up to its name. Dial, tried and true.
That isn't the last one, is it?
Yeah, why?
Did I mention that I found the negatives from your bachelor party?
Yeah. Shame if Carla found out about that whole Niagara thing.
Can you say cubic zirconia?
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Room service.
If we all settled for good enough, would things ever be good enough?
The luxurious Chrysler LHS. Now get a lease for just $359 a month. The Chrysler LHS. This goes way beyond good enough.
It'll be time to ho-ho-ho it before you know it. So Sears has the entire store on sale. Shop Sears this Saturday and take an extra 10% off all sale prices and 10% off all regular prices. This Saturday only.
Well, I think Steve has done a marvelous job with last year, and certainly in preparing his ball club for UCLA. I think he had great training under Roy Williams, and of course Roy had great training under Dean Smith, so he comes from a very good family tree.
I like the class, the touch of Eddie Sutton, talking, the veteran talking about basically the rook, and it's the second season for Steve here in Tulsa.
Yeah, you're a combination of your own personal experiences and the influences of people that have been a part of your life, and that's no different for coaches. They pick bits and pieces from those they've been associated with and modify them and customize them according to their own personalities.
Roberts on the trap to Scare. Scare blows it. Roberts can't get it. There's a lid on it. Maldonado. And they're going to call the foul. No jump ball, but a foul on Keontae Roberts. Frustration.
Yeah, big time. I mean, you get 3 point-blank looks at it, and nothing goes. I mean, it's just one of those nights. And again, give Tulsa a tremendous amount of credit. But, I mean, these are just some missed opportunities. Scare was looking at the contact, and then you just had 2 overshoots on tip ends. And I thought Keontae Roberts made a good play on the orange there. Thought he got in there and tied it up.
16 foul, 4th though, on Roberts. Only 3:15 and counting left. A 21-point lead and a timeout has been called by Tulsa.
I was just watching Steve Robinson.
It is a 20. And we have an opportunity to remind you, the Maui Invitational, the first round is coming your way on ESPN. It all starts on Monday. It'll begin at 2 o'clock Eastern. Tough duty, isn't it? UMass, Chaminade. Chaminade is David and Goliath story before. We know all about Chaminade. They're not sneaking up on anybody anymore. Kansas LSU, great one there. Dale Brown going up against Roy Williams. And Dr. Tom Davis, the new head coach from California, taking up for Todd Bozeman. So Cal and Iowa, the last one. That is Monday. Triple header of college hoops on ESPN. Sports Center to follow our matchup here in Tulsa. Plenty of hoop highlights for those who weren't already involved in tourneys. They got started tonight for the most part. Well, the new head coach of the Irish will find out. They're talking about a deal already done. NBA, NHL highlights. Coley has been unbelievable tonight for this team. 7 of 10 from the field.
Splendid.
He has been the story off the bench. Avery Crawford has done a good job as well. The assistant coach's son. Thompson for 3. Seals with the great position underneath. And the giveaway. Dorsey. They thought there was a foul. Dorsey will go for 3. And on 3-point attempts tonight. Oklahoma State is now 1 of 12.
Yeah, they just really struggle shooting the ball tonight. They won't have a lot of nights like this, so they've got some guys that are pretty capable shooters, a lot better than what they've shown tonight.
So Tulsa on their way to a matchup with Duke on Wednesday night. We talked about it. We saw the brackets earlier. Evansville, Indiana. The other matchup in the semis. Shane's preseason NIT. A couple of great games.
Yeah, that should be interesting. Yeah, those could be good matchups. I don't know Evansville's team that well, but they won their first two.
Knocked off Iona tonight to get to New York.
Indiana's been impressive in their wins. And we've seen Tulsa up close and personal. And we'll know they'll bring in the D.
Indiana took apart my Billikens tonight. 2:05.
That's right. They did get a hold of St. Louis.
21-point lead for Tulsa, led by 11 at the break, up by 23 midway through the second half. Crawford will retain possession, poked away by Peterson. And Maldonado coming back in for the final minute 54. The big story, though, is the way that Tulsa owned the glass both ends of the floor tonight. Ruffin and Maldonado really took care of business.
Yeah, if you wanted to highlight one element, that would be it. And then you couple that with pretty good D.
Seals long. Peterson on the line. It's basically wrapping things up for the way it's gone for Oklahoma State tonight. They've been on the line all night long. They just have not been able to get off offensively.
Right. This early in the season, as frustrating and as painful as the loss is, because it's to a rival, you just have to grow from it and build. And hope you'll be a better team for it down the road.
Eddie Sutton knows his club, though. He said, we're not that far along.
Right.
He said, I saw the film of Tulsa UCLA. He said, they are more advanced right now at this early stage than we are. And he wasn't selling us a bill of goods. He was being
he's being real. He's being real. That's right.
He's very deep in the backcourt. Finn down to the baseline. Atkins way out. NBA three-point range. He wants a 20. I like it. He's down by 18, but he still wants to milk every bit of the last 93 seconds out.
Well, with the change in the rule now, you're not going to be able to just stretch the games out because you can carry over a couple of 20s, and you only get, I think, 2 full-length timeouts when you're in a TV game.
Now, we just saw the division for Tulsa in the new WAC in the Big 12. The Southern Division includes Oklahoma State, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and Baylor, all coming from the Southwest Conference. As you look at the Northern Division, don't forget, it is not going to be as difficult this year on Oklahoma State because they're only going to see a team like Kansas or Iowa State once.
Right.
You don't have to go to Allen Fieldhouse every year.
That's right. Yeah, you rotate that around.
Don't mind it all that much.
We'll have to see Texas a couple of times.
Yes.
Those fellas down there can play.
Tom Bender's always has a good squad.
3 minutes flat, amongst others.
Right now, this is the lowest scoring game for Oklahoma State since the loss to Nebraska back in '85, and they only scored 48 points. Right now, they're stuck on 47. But nothing offensively in the second half. Thompson with the fall away. Maldonado doing what they've been doing all night long, staying right around the rim, looking for a second or third try.
Yeah. Just a little bigger, a little more active, just a lot more aggressive on the glass.
When they lost to Nebraska in '85, 66-48. That was back in February of '85. And now Plant is going to be the 12th player on the floor tonight for Tulsa, the sophomore from Little Rock. Gets a hug from Rod Thompson on his way in. His club's going to New York.
Rod loves it, too. Young man plays with a great amount of joy. I mean, you watch him, and he's having fun out there the whole time.
It had to be a thrill for you the first time you got to go play basketball at the Garden.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Happened in college, and then in my short-lived NBA career, was always one of my favorite places to go. I mean, the folks there know basketball, and even if you don't have on the home team jersey, if you can play and you play well, you're much appreciated there.
Caught at the Mecca. They're not joking. Atkins already had one three from that range. scare with the offensive putback. Well, they don't have to worry about their lowest scoring game since '85 now. Out of bounds still belongs to Tulsa. And with base Duke, mentioned Evansville against Indiana. Now John Cornwell. Now he was on the floor in the first half. We're not going down to 13. He was on there. Some of these young men have never been to New York.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's almost like leaving the country if you grew up in Tulsa. The takeaway for Keontae Roberts. It's a 17-point lead. And Eddie Sutton. Let's talk to his team again with 37 at a 10-second left.
Yeah, and some people may wonder why the timeout, but it's just this early in the season, an opportunity to just have his team do something that defensively they'll probably have to do later on. There he is. He's telling them now he doesn't even want to use the full 20.
Right. It goes back to what he told us in practice today, because, you know, it's funny. I enjoy practice as much as the games because I get to teach a little bit more in practice.
Right. We're wondering now if, in fact, he even had another 20.
I think it was a full. They don't.
Oh, so it must have been a full that he just wanted to be abbreviated.
So 8,500 came out. Sold out the Tulsa Convention Center. We talked about it. They beat UCLA. They had to scramble. They wanted this game to the extent where they didn't mind an 11 o'clock tip local time. They filled the building. That says a lot for the support here for the Golden Hurricane. Duke and Tulsa.
Well, they've got an excellent team to support, Joe. I mean, this is a fun team to watch.
Yes. Great work rate at both ends of the floor. Solid head coach. Will Platt go to the free throw line? Yes. He could get in the morning paper. I love it.
Son of assistant coach Jim Platt.
Inside of 33 seconds left. Tulsa was 22-8 last year. Made their third consecutive trip to the NCAA. Last time they beat, well, not the last time, but two trips ago in their matchup at Oklahoma State after they had upset UCLA in the first round in '94, 112-102. Their next game was against Oklahoma State, and they won it by a couple to get to the Sweet 16.
That's right.
They've had a couple of Sweet 16 appearances over the last 3 years. A couple of free throws for Black. He's on the board. Peterson, tough night from the outside. Adrian Peterson. Dorsey gets the three. Don't forget Sports Center coming up after our break. Coley with an exclamation point. He was the catalyst off the bench. He really picked everybody up tonight. He's our star of the game.
Oh, without a doubt. You're giving away game ball. He better be the first guy to get one.
And making 13 on the floor now as Rogers comes into the game. For Steve Robinson. Pulling 8 of 11 from the field tonight as Ruffin comes over to the sideline. On the break, Coley. Making 9 of 12 from the floor. And it's an 18-point victory, Clark, for the Golden Hurricane. They never stopped working on the boards, both ends of the floor.
Stayed aggressive from start to finish at both ends.
So our final score, Tulsa 72, Oklahoma State 54. Sports Center coming up after the break. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Clark Kellogg, I loved it, partner. Thanks for your help. I'm Joel Myers. So long, everybody, from Tulsa.
ESPN's presentation of the NIT is brought to you by Chase. At Chase, the right relationship is everything. And by Chrysler and the cab-forward sedans of Chrysler. What's new in your world?
Just because something hasn't been done before, does that mean it can't be done?
The Chrysler Concorde LXI. Now receive $1,500 cash back. The Chrysler Concorde, built on the belief that anything can be done.
With the Shell MasterCard from Chase, there's a payoff once a month, not once a year like some cards. Every 30 days, you can get free Shell gasoline. You don't have to wait years for it to amount to something. So don't waste time on other cards. Get the Shell MasterCard from Chase. Call 1-800-FREE-GAS or pick up an application at a Shell station near you.
Coming up next on SportsCenter as Mr. Robinson observes somebody else's neighborhood. Shaq tells the Spurs, not in my house. The Marlins make a big free agent catch, nabbing an O named Bobby Bowe. Could the crime dog be next to fly south this winter? And speaking of flying, we'll get up close and personal with college basketball. In hockey, it was worst against first in Hartford, with the Whalers looking for a net gain. Meanwhile, in Dallas, the Panthers were seeing stars the hard way. Is Notre Dame ready to entrust their stars to this man? It's almost time. Alert the president. Wake the kids. And don't forget to tell Grandpa. SportsCenter's next.
Hi again, SportsCenter dropping the 411 on you with Larry Bill. I am Stuart Scott.
Oh, it's a done deal. Notre Dame has chosen Lou's successor. The Florida Marlins get their man. And what would it sound like if we put a microphone in your shorts?
Well, Larry, depends on the day and time, and trust me, we will explain that. We begin, though, with round ball, where the shorts are baggy. Hey, let's hear it for the Utes of the NBA, huh? Ute? Yeah, for the Joe Pesci and my cousin Vinny impaired, a Ute is a Ute. And guess what? Kobe Bryant, the youngest player to ever play in the NBA, is also the most Ute-ful player to ever lead the league in three-point field goal accuracy. The Laker Ute hitting about 58% from downtown. A couple of weeks ago, Kobe displayed his Ute-ful modesty, reminding me, quote, I'm also the youngest player ever to get his shot blocked. The Ute also the youngest to miss a game with the flu this game. Spurs at L.A. Spurs all-star center David Robinson not playing. Early first, Eddie Jones. Give it to Shaq. No, Eddie wants to jam. He blew it. Still, Eddie had 24 points. Lakers down 3. Second quarter, Shaq blew up. His up and under, it won't work. So Shaq says, bunk this. I'm just going to fake the funk on a nasty dunk. 29 points, 21 rebounds. Lakers down 1. Vernon Maxwell up? No. But Dominique still skying had his back. Nick had 19 points, 13 boards. Fourth quarter, Nick Van Exel. Diagram play from his coach. Booyah! Nick had 14 points. He was 2 of 4 from outside. Shot clock running out. Eddie Jones inside to Shaq. Shaq getting his swerve on. 16th career game with at least 20 points and 20 rebounds. Lakers going to win this one 96-86. Shaq simply being the daddy. He admitted to me earlier that he likes being a real daddy. Diaper changes and everything. As I said, 21 points, 29 boards. Dominique had 13 rebounds in a losing effort. Spurs all-star center David Robinson could return to the lineup next month. D-Rob, out with a lower back strain, is said to be improving. The Heat in their third of a 6-game road trip at Sacramento. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf with a crazy shot in transition. Then the long three at the end of the quarter. Money. 23 points for Mahmoud, but Kings down 4 after 3. Fourth quarter, more Kings. Mitch Richmond, 3 up top. All good. Kings down 2. Final minute, down 2. Richmond to Odin Polynice, the former Virginia star, crushes it. Game tied at 90. Heat a chance to win it, but Isaac Austin misses inside. Dan Marley's desperation won't go. We go to overtime, tied at 90. End of OT. Kings down 3. Richmond 3 from the right wing. Nothing but net, baby. Mitch had 32. We're tied at 100, but we go to double OT. Heat up 1 in the final minute. Isaac Austin misses the free throw, but P. Dre Brown all over the offensive boards. Tim Hardaway would hit 2 free throws. The Miami Heat win it 111-108. Hardaway had 22 points, including 4 straight free throws with 18 seconds left. Richmond led the Kings with his 32 points, but not enough, as Miami has won the first 3 games of their 6-game road trip.
In college hoops, perennial power Kansas is ranked number 2 in the nation, but how long can they stay there with star point guard Jacques Vaughn out while his injured wrist heals? The Wildcats tipping off a new season on Friday night against Santa Clara. The Broncos, they know a thing or two about David versus Goliath matchups, having knocked off the defending national champion UCLA in their opener a year ago. Santa Clara looking to shoot down another Goliath. Vaughn could only watch as his team moved the ball around well. Paul Pierce open on the baseline. Jayhawks up by 10 early on. Santa Clara, they don't have Steve Nash. He's in the pros now, but have no fear. Marlon Garnett is here with a long rainbow J. Kansas too big inside, though. Rafe LaFrenz with the inside move, and the Broncos are called for the foul. LaFrenz with 17. Jarrett Haas working the 2-on-1 with Ryan Robertson. Haas with the finish, 45-34 Kansas. And more from Haas, back in the Bay Area, used to play at Cal, back in Northern California, but now in a Jayhawk uniform, hits again, and Paul Pierce uncontested to the hoop as Kansas wins it 76-64. Jarrett Haas scoring 16 of his 19 points in the second half. Marlon Garnett had 20 points to lead Santa Clara as the Jayhawks go to 4-0 all-time against the Broncos. Terrific early season matchup, North Carolina against Arizona. Miles Simon finger-licking good. He's academically ineligible, however. Did pay his way to see this one. Michael Dickerson pops for 3. Anton Jameson a little frustrated, couldn't get the ball inside. Meanwhile, Mike Bibby, the freshman sensation, with a 3 for Zona. Jameson still can't get the handle. Watch this. Ademola Okulaja's shot off the top of the backboard and in, and we're tied at 29 at the half, second half. It's Bibby again. His dad can shoot, and so can the kid. Jameson getting anxious. A little too quick on the release and off the mark again. Meanwhile, it's Dickerson for 3 and good. Carolina, do they have some athletes? Ed Cota, alley-oop to Vince Carter with authority. But most of this game belonged to Arizona as they bombed away. Dickerson with yet another 3, and Simon says a victory, 83-72. Michael Dickerson had 31. Mike Bibby with 22 for Zona in the upset of 7th-ranked Carolina. First opening game loss for the Tar Heels since 1983. Vince Carter had 20, but it was not enough. And after the game, Dick Vitale caught up with the Cats coach.
Michael Bibby for his debut. He told me today he was really nervous. I thought he played really impressively, very unselfish, and also Dickerson was sensational.
Yeah, well, those two guys, if you give them a look at the bucket, they're gonna knock that 3 down, and that was the key to us. At halftime, we look at the stats, and we're having all kinds of trouble getting the ball inside or scoring inside, and we just said, hey, second half, we're just running the court, and we're jacking that thing up because we're much more efficient when we're shooting the outside shot or penetrating to the bucket rather than getting into our half-court set offense.
Wildcats don't have any seniors on their roster, but the kids were in the zone in this game. Dickerson and Bibby scoring 53 of Arizona's 83 points. They combined to shoot 57%, and the rest of the Cats could manage only 31%. Stu?
More college hoops, preseason NIT Vandy at number 10 Duke. First half, Steve Wojciechowski was a downright criminal, a hood, a thief, 1 steal. On the next sequence, Wojciechowski says, give me that. His second steal, all the way for the layup. He had 12 points. Later in the half, that convict, Wojciechowski, again another pick. Steve, I play my enemies like a game of chess. 7 steals in the first half. Duke blew it wide open in the second. Rashawn McLeod up and under. Nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. He had 20 points. Duke in a blowout, 86-57. They'll now go to Madison Square Garden for the semis of the NIT. Vanderbilt went cold going the last 7 minutes, 48 seconds of the first half without a basket. Then 6 minutes and 46 seconds, they went a stretch in the second half without a point. Wojciechowski, 8 steals in the game, 3 off the school record. Number 13, Syracuse hosting Winthrop. Freshman guard Jason Hart with the reject going the other way. He finds Otis Hill in the lane for the short jumper. Yep. Hart had 7 of Syracuse's 36 assists. Then Jason Cipolla with the rebound. Ahead to Otis. Otis, my man, do you mind if we dunk with your dates? 11 of 14 shooting. Then Hart penetrates the lane. Nice look to Hill again. Q's in the house. Oh, my God. Hill had 23 points. Q's rolls 106-51. 106-51? 52 of the Orangemen's 106 points came in the second half, which means Q's could have gone scoreless in the first half and still won this game. The Orangemen now 16-0 in home openers under Jim Boeheim. Looking forward to a rematch of last year's title game against Kentucky Thanksgiving night. That's right here on ESPN. Rockne, Parsegian, Devine, Faust, Holtz, Davey. As ESPN first reported Thursday, Notre Dame offensive coordinator Bob Davey will be the next Irish head coach. The official announcement could come as early as Saturday. So let's just let the countdown begin. Davey officially 106 wins away from passing Newt Rockne on the Golden Dome all-time.